The perfected Omnitrix is what Ben receives at the end of the battle versus Dagon and his subjects. The Ultimatrix falls off and Azimuth teleports the new watch onto the wrist of Ben Tennyson. We get to see a lot of features of the watch throughout the Ben 10 Omniverse series. But in this video, I go over my true thoughts about the completed Omnitrix. This is the watch that Azimuth created after Ben had destroyed the original. It comes with a few things like a new user interface, which I love, and a brand new color scheme, a few new aliens, along with every feature we have seen thus far. I was in love with the idea of the new Omnitrix until I watched more of Omniverse and I kind of changed my mind afterward. Now, disclaimer, some of these problems were just plot devices to make the story more interesting, but just using basic logic of continuity, I really have to treat them like real problems. Ben getting the wrong aliens is pretty much a staple in the show since the classic series. Too often, Ben tries to turn into Forearms or Humongousaur and ends up getting something completely different. It makes for an entertaining show, and for some moments, it's pretty funny, but I really am not always a fan of this, especially when Ben gets the perfected Omnitrix. After doing some digging, I found out that the mistransformations were more of a Ben-related problem based on statements from Derek J. Wyatt. I kind of find that hard to believe sometimes, but then again, he is the only Ben in existence who is seen mistransforming this much. He had moments in the show where he doesn't even look at the dial before he transforms. How? Because of the interface, he selects the aliens too fast and mistransforms? It's all pretty much up in the air. Initially, I wanted to just blame the perfected Omnitrix for not fixing a 6-year-old problem, but now I know it's totally just a Ben Prime thing. So I can safely say the completed Omnitrix does not mistransform. The randomizer function, however, is quite strange in my opinion. This new function that Azimuth added to the watch, where the user will change in and out of different alien forms or be in alien forms for various periods of time, is not a function that I like, not even in the slightest, because it has no combat viability in any way, and it seems to be a stupid mode Azimuth added to kill Ben. But I sat in my galvanic living room and then I realized something, that adding this function is actually Azimuth still staying true to his original design plans. Now hear me out. Azimuth made the randomizer function not for combat, but for Ben to truly be able to explore the different types of alien species at random, instead of one by one. This mode can also show Ben transformations that he never knew he had. It's almost like when you select a random character in a video game that you never play, but then you realize it's really fun. Yeah, it's just like that. This is definitely something that feeds into the mystery AI that the Omnitrix possesses, which is one hell of a rabbit hole for the Ben 10 watches. The artificial intelligence in the watch sometimes appears to be something like Siri or Jarvis that responds to the user's commands and acts on them, which is pretty simple, and other times it does crazy stuff like this or this. Ben himself says it, that he thinks the watch has a mind of its own and gives him the right aliens at the right time. And I guess the Big Bang scene kind of confirms it to be true. This kind of an intelligence is literally a game changer, as even though the Omnitrix has been pretty protective, having it cycle through every single alien into the perfect transformation for survival is almost as if the watch is adapting Ben to the situation. Seems like the watch knows even better than the prodigy himself what to turn into in certain life-threatening moments. I can fairly conclude that the completed Omnitrix is not at all overrated. It has all the right functions, but Ben, he needs some help. But what do you guys think? Comment down below and subscribe.